Yo, what up, friends? Mixed bag. I've got a ton of notes here for you. In the sports world, this is crazy, y'all. I have so many notes. I had to go to AI, to ChatGPT, because I had 35 pages of notes, sports and news, to get to y'all today. And I was like, I'm not going through all that. I'm not going through 35 pages. Yeah, I copied and pasted and put it all in there. A lot of times I'll copy whole articles, so it'll take up a few pages for one thing. But still, I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. I posted this joint in ChatGPT. This joint spit out 50 some things for me to talk about that I copy and pasted from the sports world. So this is your sports world lightning round for real. It's not even in a real order, and I don't care because there's so much to talk about. I will try to go in as much of an order as I can, but I cannot guarantee anything. All right. First of all, let's talk NBA draft, NBA free agency. Yes. Wow. It was a crazy week, NBA and NHL. So we'll get you updated on all of that. So here we go. In the NBA, the Mavericks, not only did they get Cooper Flagg as the number one pick in the NBA draft, he is no really conspiracy theory here, I don't think. I think it's pretty much shown that the NBA is rigged at times by giving the Dallas Mavericks the lottery after you made them trade Luka Doncic to the Lakers because LeBron is getting old and about to retire, which we'll talk about in just a second on another one of my facts, because LeBron opts in at $52.6 million, which also means he'll be an unrestricted free agent after the year. What does that mean, sports professor? Well, what that means is that if he's an unrestricted free agency for a rebuilding team, do you really think that team is going to re-sign him when they have Luka and they need to build around Luka? No, that means LeBron's time with the Lakers will be over. They're probably not going to trade him mid-season just because I think they have like that respect for bringing the title and all that. Now, don't never say never in any business, especially the sports world. You might get traded in a heartbeat. But anyways, you will get traded in a heartbeat. But LeBron, they may not do that too. They may want to just keep him to the end of the year and then let him just walk away. But they could trade him if they wanted and get some picks. Here nor there. The Mavericks signed D'Angelo Russell to help while Kyrie Irving is out. SGA, the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4-year, $285 million Supermax signed that will start in 2027. The Bucks signed Miles Turner. What? What's more crazy? They waived Damian Lillard. Dame time, baby. What? Yes, check this. The Bucks waived the next 5 years of Damian Lillard's contract, which is crazy, and waived the next 2 years of his contract and stretch it over 5 years. So essentially, they take that 2 years of his contract, which is like $100 million or something like that, and stretch it over 5 years, so it costs less every year on the cap hit. And they use that savings to go sign Miles Turner. Now, as a basketball move, you say this is a smart move to do. Now, will Turner and Giannis mesh? We will see. Obviously, Giannis and the brother, the Giannis and the brother had a good chemistry. I can see his fro and his face. Anyways, had a good chemistry. But we'll see how this works because Giannis is said to be displeased with this trade. But again, in basketball sense, it actually makes sense. No pun intended. What else we got? Masai Ujiri is out as the Raptors boss. What? Yes, they have let go of Masai Ujiri, and it's a little bit of a basketball move, a little bit of a contentious move, but they're rebuilding. So do they really? There's some more intricacies, things that you need to go search for yourself because I don't want to be putting classified information out there. But there's some other things in that situation. But either way, it's probably better that they just parted. ways. You know what I mean? Rockets re-signed Fred Van Vliet, 2 years, $50 million. What else did we have? Austin Reeves rejected the max from the Lakers. What? Now, it's not a max like you were thinking, like a super max. It's the max that he can get. But either way, he turns it down, hoping to bag more if he waits a year. You better hope you don't get injured. And in sales news, the Lakers sold their team for a record $11 billion. Oh no, $10 billion. This comes after my Celtics sold theirs for only $6 billion. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. That kind of hurts my feelings, though. But Jeannie Buss still does say she will stay on as the controlling governor of the team. I forgot one note. Timberwolves did re-sign Naz Reid, 5 years, $125 million. And then finally, and the Grizzlies gave Jaren Jackson Jr. $240 million in a max. Nuggets traded Porter Jr. to get under the second apron luxury tax to the Nets for Cam Johnson and a 2032 unprotected first rounder. And finally, and we're only in NBA news, which is why you can see why I couldn't talk about everything, because we would have been here forever. Two more notes. First of all, Malik Beasley is under investigation for a gambling probe. You guys got to read up on that story. It's pretty wild what they tried to pull off. And then finally, the Knicks. Finally, I've been looking for you everywhere. Only a couple people will know the inside of that joke. But anyways, yeah. The Knicks have finally settled on a coach just today. They agreed to hire Mike Brown as their coach. Really good coach. You still keep defense like you had with Thibodeau, but he is obviously a coach that has coached many teams, been around a bunch of superstars, can handle this lineup, and is bred for this championship team. They are ready. I think this is a great move. I said before they fired Thibodeau, that I thought that was getting stale and they needed a change. They ended up firing him. Now they bring in Mike Brown. I think this is an amazing hire for them. I think this actually can take them over the top to a championship. So we'll see. And I hate saying that as a Celtics fan, but we'll see what happens there. All right. That was your NBA. Now, quick couple notes in WNBA. First of all, the WNBA All-Star starters were revealed. As you can believe, Caitlin Clark was one of the highest vote getters. I mean, I guess you can probably assume that. Nafisia Collier also was one of the highest vote getters, which, by the way, that takes me to another note in WNBA. The Commonwealth Cup was won by Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever, even though she's injured with a groin injury, as they beat Nafisia Collier's Minnesota Lynx yesterday. But the WNBA will feature a rookie in the starting lineup for the first time ever. Shout out Paige Buckets Beckers coming out of UConn. She has been balling, 17.7 points, 5.5 assists a game, just leading her team, even though they're struggling as a team so far. She was injured for a little bit with a concussion, other things. But she is balling. To give Jim Jones a shout out, as I saw he got thrown off stage by Funk Flex the other day. How about that for a pop culture reference in 2025? Huh? How about some other news here? We are going hot and heavy in here. WNBA is adding 3 expansion franchises: Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia on the next 3 years, one each year. Cool. So shout out and salute to Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia for their new WNBA franchises. The MLB, Major League Baseball, and ESPN are back at the table, and Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred, the worst commissioner in sports, have to be thanking their lucky stars that ESPN came back, because MLB was going nowhere with their TV rights deals and was going to be shown on fucking, I don't know, excuse my language, the Discovery Channel, maybe CW. I don't know. It wasn't going to be nowhere good. Anyways, moving on. The Atlanta baseball team DFAs, which means they just got rid of, waived Alex Verdugo as they reinstate Jurickson Profar from onto the team from the, and you ask why that's important, from the PED list. He was suspended for 80 games. He's coming back. Who was also getting suspended sentence, Wander Franco, former Rays star, is now being convicted of sexual abuse of a minor. He does avoid prison under conditions, but we will have to go under house arrest and all of that kind of thing that obviously you don't want to go through. But when you do that sort of thing, then you deserve what you get when you're messing with a minor and then trying to pay their family off in order to be able to. It's a whole crazy story that y'all got to go read, that Wander Franco story, and the way he tried to pay the family off to keep quiet. That's disgusting, dude. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need a life, and you're going to get one. It's not going to be in prison, but you're not playing baseball again. You might get a chance in a few years, but I highly doubt it. I think your career is over, but never say never in America, I guess, right? Anyways, moving on to more news. Let's see what we got here. I want to make sure I at least stay a little bit on track. Angels' Ron Washington is out for the season due to an undisclosed medical issues. Prayers up to the 72-year-old manager. We wish him well. Brewers rookie Mizorowski Jacob, who actually got wrecked by my Mets tonight and got 5 runs dumped on him early, did outduel Pirates ace Paul Skeens. You say, who is Mizorowski? The sports professor tells you he's the new Milwaukee's rookie pitcher. He has a 1.13 ERA over 16 innings pitched, and he is looking awesome. What else happened? We talked about my boy D. Cleasy's A's earlier. Let's come back to that. A's pitcher Luis Severino, who played for my Mets last year, blast the Oakland A's ballpark, ripping the Sacramento site after an ugly home ERA. You should see the splits, y'all. He has a 6 ERA at home and a 3.5 ERA on the road. So that'll tell you how much he hates that stadium. And he says he wants to be traded. This is going to get ugly. Yankees Jazz Chisholm Jr. rages after an election, says the call was unwarranted. We'll see if there's a suspension there. Max Scherzer, sharp in his Jays return. He's now playing for the Toronto Blue Jays, if you didn't know. Mad Max coming off a 76-game injured reserve stay. I know I'm trying to get through it fast because there's a lot, y'all. I still got tons more, and I'm just giving you one-line little things. Imagine if I actually went through all of this stuff. That would be wild. But anyways, we keep it moving. I'm not even going to try to go through sports anymore because I think I did most of the sports center content. EA Sports revives college hoops. Yes, in 2028, EA Sports NCAA basketball will be back on the shelves, so look forward to that. Some more NFL news. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been traded to the Dolphins. The Steelers get in return Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith. As my boy Lion Reese Penn said, shout out to him. Y'all tap in with the rec room. That Steelers cornerback room is crazy with the cornerbacks they got back there. 3-headed monster. So they're going to be good there. I'm calling it. The Steelers are making the playoffs. I called it already on Mar's show. The Steelers are making the playoffs. I called it 2 weeks ago. So let's go. Actually, Mark called it too. We both called it. So anyways, what else we got here? 18-game NFL season has stalled. The NFL Players Association says they will not renegotiate any more schedule changes until next year at the earliest, which isn't really a long time anyways. I don't know why they say that. But the collective bargaining agreement does run through 2031. The Club World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, Club World Cup, quarterfinals have been set. PSG, Al Hilal, among a couple other teams that I had on my list, but I can't find them now. But anyways, they are all going into the quarterfinals in the FIFA Club World Cup, which is preparing for FIFA World Cup, coming next year. I love FIFA World Cup. I'm a soccer fan. I mean, I'm not a huge. I don't call it football, and I don't go to many games. Although I have gone to a few Nashville SC games, which are a lot of fun, especially if you sit in the supporters section. Shout out to those Nashville SC supporters here in Nashville. They be going crazy, so that's pretty cool to see. They be having a lot of chants and songs. It's pretty awesome stuff to be a part of, especially right when you're in the middle of it. But anyways, so soccer, FIFA World Cup coming next year. What else happened? Lily Johannes, I talked about her a few years ago, the U.S. Prodigy, 18-year-old. She is leaving Ajax for European powerhouse OL Lyon. What else we got? I know I had a couple more soccer news here. I know I missed a couple things here. I'm trying to give it all to you. Trying to give you all the news you need. It's going to be like this in U.S. and world news too. Y'all just wait. I'll have a little more time to talk about things in depth there because that's more important than just sports news. But I do need to talk about that as well. Hockey, that's right, hockey news. Mitch Marner has been traded to Vegas. Florida resigns the champions, the now champion Florida Panthers have just won, re-signed all of their key players, Brad Marchand, Ekblad, and their MVP Conn Smythe Trophy winner Sam Bennett. Let's see. I got a couple more. Pac-12 Conference, NCAA adds Texas State as a member school. That is their 8th member. Why is that important? Let the sports professor tell you. This is important because the Pac-12 needed one more member to have 8 members. Why do you need 8 members? Because you need 8 members in order to stay FBS eligible, the Football Bowl subdivision. So in order for them to want to be able to maybe even regain top 6 conference, which is not going to happen because they're going to go to super conferences anyways. But if they even want to be considered in the group of 5, they have to have 8 teams. Texas State gives them an 8th team. University of Penn has banned trans women from women's sports. This comes after their star swimmer, Leah Thomas, who's transitioned from man to woman. They obviously don't agree with the bad publicity that she brought upon that school because they have disavowed her pretty much and stripped her school records and bars any future participation and banning any future trans athletes. Now, again, I've said this already. We're going to have trans people in society. They've been around forever. Let's give them their own division. I don't understand why this is so hard. If they want to play sports, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Let them play sports. But there has to be a middle division. There cannot be men that are now going to be playing in women's sports because they've transitioned. I'm sorry, but you still have higher testosterone levels as shown in studies, even after you've transitioned. And the other way, I mean, you're not going to put a woman in a man's sports because just inherently men have better genetics. Again, not all. No. Yes, if you put Jackie Joyner Kersey out there with me, she's going to dust the hell out my ass. Of course. Ain't nobody debating that. But for the normal, average person, right, a man is usually going to be, and again, not everyone, bigger, faster, stronger. Just give the trans people a middle division. It can't be that hard. Give them a middle. Now, I know there's not that many trans athletes, so I guess that does make it a little more difficult because there's not enough trans athletes out there to be able to probably form a whole division. But, I mean, make a subdivision for them and just let them compete for their own trophies. I don't understand why you can't work something out like that. You've done the NCAA has done anything else to try to have their way since amateurism back in 2015. It's like, just catch up with the times and just make things okay for everybody. Whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you think that there is only a man and a woman and whether you agree with trans and not trans, it doesn't really matter. Because the trans people are in society and have been forever and they're going to continue to be. So at least just give them their own lane so that way they're not getting in your lane and then you're not complaining about it. Anyways, Wimbledon, massive upsets in tennis. 13 men, 10 women seeds fall in round 1, including number 2, American Coco Gauff, and number 3, Russian Alexander Zverev. Crazy. Wowzers. What else we got for you? I got a couple more things here, and then we'll get to the news, U.S. and world news. Oilers trade, the Edmonton Oilers, and hockey trade Evander Kane to the Canucks, the Vancouver Canucks. Let's see. Jake Paul is now ranked as a cruiserweight. He is number 14 I believe it's the WBA. I could be corrected. It might be the WBC, but I believe it's the WBA. Wowzers. This is crazy. Clubber D, Baggio, and Weeby, we'll talk about this tomorrow for sure. Darren Waller, NFL, unretires, joins the Miami Dolphins. Shout out my boy Big Rube. Love you, brother. Prayers. The Sabres, huge blockbuster trade. JJ Petekra, who was their star winger, to the new Utah Mammoth, the expansion team, for Kesserling and Doan. A good trade for both sides of the aisle. What else do we got here? A couple more things. Three most important news pieces here today in the sports world for you. First of all, the feds have threatened California on the trans athlete policy. I forgot to mention that earlier. The Trump admin warns of imminent enforcement if the state doesn't revise their rules on transgender athletes. And again, we just talked about it. Give them their own lane, their own division. Also, Super Bowl halftime. Do you remember the man who protested with the Sudanese flag and a pro-Palestinian gesture and was arrested? He stood on the car in the middle of Kendrick Lamar's performance. He has been arrested, but we'll see what happens. Probably not going to get jail time, I believe is what I hear. Probably just some probation and house arrest. And last but not least, Justin Tucker has been suspended by the NFL. Not that it mattered because the Ravens had gotten rid of him anyways, but he's now suspended for 10 games. So if any other team wanted to sign him, they would have to go ahead and know that he's suspended for 10 games.
Subscribe on YouTube at Ball and Buds for sports and entertainment.